It's your world. It's your world, Toastmaster Sukhmani Kaur.
Thank you. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, Sukhmani.
Thank you. So I was 10 years old when my parents enrolled me to an art summer camp, and let me tell you, I hated every second of it. The teachers made us draw straight lines for hours, and we were scolding for coloring outside the lines and painting a tree any other color if not green. There I learned that an apple is red, the sun is yellow, and the water is blue. When it was all over, it was the happiest day of my life. I received a certificate I could not care less for, a gold star on the back of my hand, and a pat on the back for being a good student. Seeing all this, my parents asked me if I wanted to go for an art class permanently. I was an extremely shy kid who did not know how to say no, so I nodded my head in approval. Delighted to hear this, my mother took me to a stationery shop, got me a box of crayons and a sketchbook. Seeing all those new colors and those blank white pages of a sketchbook, my heart raced. It was so much full of possibilities. I wondered if I could draw pink water in it, but I pushed that thought back. Water cannot be pink. Water is blue, I told myself. It was the first day of my new art class, and my mom drove me to my new teacher's house. I was nervous and scared. She dropped me to her doorstep and waved me goodbye. And although I waved back smiling, my eyes pleaded her to take me back. I was so nervous. But what I expected on the other side of the door was something different. My new art teacher greeted me with a warm smile and a wrinkled face. She was a 65-year-old lady, and she gave me a table and chair and asked me to draw anything that I wanted. So, like the kid I was, and you might relate it to, I drew a sun in the corner of the paper and a mountains and clouds, and it looked something like this. I'm sure you must have seen it everywhere. So, my teacher asked me what I really liked about it, and I did not know what to say. She told me, well, you must be liking something about this, but I didn't. So, she gave me another sheet of paper and asked me to draw a favorite thing. For real this time, she emphasized. So I made an aquarium with pink water in it and fishes of every color that my crayon box had. I was so happy making it, and for that 1 hour, I was smiling as I was coloring, so excited to finally paint pink water. For 2 years that followed that day, I painted all my favorite things. At the beginning of each month, she told me to tell her any 5 things that I liked and taught me how to draw them. There, I learned how to draw these really expensive shoes that I could not afford but really wanted. Or maybe my favorite dessert, that's waffles, by the way. As months passed, I slowly learned the nuances of art from her, the theories, how to compose a painting, proportions, highlights, shadows, and whatnot. I spent hours at her house, and she even gave me lemonade at times. For years that followed, I painted all the things my heart liked. I was thriving. I tapped into my creativity, and it was the most freeing thing ever. But then my sketchbook was replaced by my textbook, and I did not draw a single line. My crayons were given to our servant's daughter because she needed it more and I needed to focus on my studies. I had completely retreated back to my shell. I had a lot of built up emotions in me during this time, and it was so frustrating how I could not let them out. After I graduated high school, I made sure that I get into art again. So, art had become something so familiar yet distant for me by that time that holding a paintbrush felt so uncomfortable. But slowly and surely, I felt into that habit again. On some days, I painted all night. Something clicked inside me, and I relished in it. It was pure delight to my eyes seeing all those paints flow. The last thing that I drew was this lady that is floating in a galaxy. And yes, it does not make sense, but it's pretty, so I like it. I want, as I grew up, I realized that a lot of people give up art because of work or academics or simply because they think they are not good at it. But that is not a good thing. The point of art is not to make something pretty or pleasing to the eyes or something that Van Gogh or Leonardo da Vinci would paint. The purpose of art is to make. The purpose of art is to create something. For that short span of time, you will feel like the master of a universe that you make with your own hands. it will allow growth in ways that are intransitive. I want to encourage all of you to pick up a paintbrush once in a while and just do whatever you feel like doing. Maybe draw a star at the corner of the paper or a big scenery if you feel like it. It is important for all of us to have a creative space that no one can steal from us, and art lets you make that. Art lets you make your own world, and even if it's outside the lines, let those colors flow. Who cares if your tea is not green? It is your world and it can be whatever you want it to be. Thank you.